Hey, I'm Nathan, a graphic designer based in Ohio, and today we're going to be doing a short design exercise that is a great way to sharpen the skills, get the juices flowing, and brushing up on the design principles. So I am using Sharpen.design, which is a graphic design prompt website that I am getting the idea from, which makes it a lot easier on me instead of having to come up with a prompt myself. And the prompt was creating a digital event ticket for a spacefaring nation. So right away, jumping into Photoshop, we're gonna slap a QR code down because that's instantly what came to mind when I thought of digital and ticket. And then I went ahead onto Unsplash, which is a royalty-free website for photos that you can use in your projects. And as always, when using this type of work, I like to attribute the creators of the work. So the photos I'm using today are from the photographer Pavel Chervinsky. I'll have a link for his work in the bio, so shout out to him for these sweet abstract painting photos that we are using. And right away I knew I wanted to use photos as the dominant element in my compositions and my layouts, so I went ahead and slapped that in. And then I went ahead and straight away onto typography. I put that in the top left, giving some space for the image to shine through because I didn't want the type competing with the other element. So I picked this typeface we have here. I believe it's called Chuck. And it's just, originally I was thinking of using Montserrat, but then I was like, you know what, this is too basic because I wanted something a little bit thicker. And then I found Chuck, which is kind of giving me like 80 retro vibes when I feel like space was a little bit more present in pop culture. So I think, going back into that style is kind of neat for space type work. I think it's kind of coming back too with, you have all these ventures from these freaking billionaires like Elon Musk and the Amazon guy. So definitely some inspiration to take from that, I guess. But we had to tie it in with the country as well. So of course the United States, USA baby. The flag was kind of bold, so I wanted to make some sort of way to just put that kind of in the background. So I made it black and white, turned up the opacity so it's not as strong. Then I was looking for a logo. I went with SpaceX. I think that's Elon Musk's company, right? And I wanted there to be a logo, and I didn't feel like putting NASA made sense. So I put SpaceX, I guess they're in partnership with the United States. If that happens in the future, I totally predicted it. But I'm not sure if that can happen for legal reasons. But anyway, I went ahead and using that logo down the middle of the ticket on the bottom. And yeah, our ticket's gonna cost $45. Would you go to Mars for $45? I probably wouldn't, to be honest. That's kind of freaky. 45, that sounds kind of sketchy. You can get those like cheap airplane tickets, but then you get on the airplane and you're like, is this going to take off? Are we going to like crash or lose an engine or something? So that's kind of my thought behind that. But these tickets do look pretty bougie, so maybe that isn't a problem in the future. I guess we'll see. So yeah, I then wanted to throw another splash of color in, making the typography stand out as well, not having the strong white boxes in the bottom. So I went ahead and put a color gradient on the bottom there to pop off some colors. I wanted to put some orange in it as well, just to tie back in with the image that we used. And then I made the assets white just to have enough contrast so they stand out. And that is the first ticket of the 3-ticket series I was going to be doing. So that was kind of the base layout that I'm going to be using for each 3 of these tickets. And I was just going to copy that, paste that over, get a new image, and change up some of the information on the ticket. And I think that's a great way to elevate singular designs if you're making one thing. And in the end, we're going to mock up these, so stay tuned for that as well. So again, I'm just hunting for photos, and I was having a super rough time. So I just went to Pavel Chervinsky's site. I guess it's not a site, but his profile on Unsplash, so I could get similar assets to the one I was using. And that's pretty important, is using similar elements so everything looks like they tie together. And that's always a struggle sometimes, especially if you have assets that are like just random. Like, how are you gonna find a similar thing to this one thing if this thing is different than all the other things that you're trying to find, you know? Not sure if you follow it, but you know. So yeah, we're still hunting for photos, and my thought process here was I wanted something looking like space, and when I say that, I mean I wanted black in the background for contrast, and you know, space is pretty dark, but you got the sun, I guess. I mean, I've never been to space, so what do I know, but from all the photos and images and things that I've seen before, it seems like space is a dark place. So I wanted that black contrast in the background with this cool abstract colors, so making something pop there. We got this whitish gray looking one that was making me feel like the moon. So yeah, we got our moon ticket here. Of course, $25. We want to be reasonable there since, you know, it's a bit closer than Mars. So yeah, we got that situated. I wanted the contrast with the typography, so that's why I was rotating it to make sure text was still legible, visible. And then we get to the third ticket. So this one I had a little bit of trouble with because I wouldn't say it was a struggle, but I went down a path and I was like, you know what, I don't like this path, I'm going back. And I went down a different path. So that's kind of the process I went through there. Because I had this image, as you can see here, I was like, all right, we got this orange. You see a lot of these photos on his that were available that were orange. And I was thinking, you know what, Jupiter, let's go. Jupiter's probably orange, right? It's a ball of gas. This makes sense. But then I was like, you know, we already got Mars, which is orange. I think I'm just gonna trash this. So that's what we ended up doing. I ended up going, I kind of did a little bit of research just to make sure this is the right decision. But yeah, my space knowledge is pretty limited. I don't know how much you guys know about space, but I'd say the only real thing I know is from Blue's Clues. You know, there's a space song about all the planets, and it gives you their order as well as a brief description. I'd sing it for you, but I don't want to, you know, turn you away from the channel or my videos, so I'm gonna refrain from doing so. You're welcome, but you can always look it up if you're trying to, you know, learn about space and want to learn a great, catchy song to always remind you about the planets. So then I went with Pluto. I found this other greenish blue looking asset, and I'm like, all right, cool, we could do like some Neptune, Pluto type thing, since it's further away from the sun. It's got those color vibes, and I think Pluto's kind of like a mainstream type, I would say, I mean, it's kind of a planet, but kind of not, just a ball of gas, but some people get pretty heated about it for some reason, because I guess they feel bad. I don't know. But we made a Pluto travel ticket as well, because we had the colors. It looked pretty cool, and who wouldn't want to go to Pluto? Let me know down below if you think Pluto should be a planet. I think I'm indifferent, to be honest. I don't really think about Pluto that much. I don't see why. I guess I could go either way. I don't see why it's important that it isn't or that it is, but I know for a fact that it's in the Blue's Clues song, so I mean, I guess that's pretty much a good reason for it to be a planet. Because then they got to change the song. So that's pretty good reasoning. So then we move on to the mock-up. So I have this iPhone mock-up that I wanted to use here, but I didn't have like an app background for my ticket. I guess there's like the Wallet app on iPhone that has all your digital tickets. Not gonna lie, I never use digital tickets, so I have no idea how they work. I'm a very old-fashioned person, I guess. I definitely think from a marketing standpoint, there's a lot of benefit in using physical products, physical paper, mailers, things like that. Just because they're lying around, people always see them, and people even collect tickets. I think it's a great way for fans to, you know, feel a connection with the events they go to, keep some memories, things like that. So that's kind of a reason why I definitely prefer physical tickets, but we're doing digital tickets today, so I guess it doesn't matter. So yeah, I found an image of the Wallet app online, slapped that into the mock-up, and then I got rid of its background, placed it on the iPhone. And then we take our image, slap that on top of that, and I wanted it to look like it fit within the app, which is really smooth, and the tickets within there usually have rounded corners. So I thought, frick, I gotta make these corners rounded. So I put a rectangle, made a little clipping mask, so my image could sit over top of that shape, and then put a drop shadow to make it fit like the other tickets as well. So it's just the little details that really make it stand out. I'm telling you. So we got that situated with Pluto. We got our 2 other tickets to get in there. So I had these 3 iPhones situated in this one mock-up. As you can see, I'm slapping those in there now, just getting the spacing right. And I actually, yeah, I like that. I did realize I wanted to offset it because, you know, just looking at 3 iPhones in a row is pretty boring, and you need some visual interest if you're doing some cool different mock-up type stuff. Sometimes I like to take my mock-ups and enlarge them and rotate them. Sometimes I like to just make multiple things like that, because, you know, everyone has this iPhone mock-up. They're probably all using it the same way. So try to add some spice to your life and make it look nice. Put that on a t-shirt, sell it, wear it. You'll love it. I should make merch, shouldn't I? But anyway, maybe that's the next project, is designing that t-shirt, but man, so many fun projects to do. But yeah, we're putting the moon in here on the left, getting that situated. And then we got, I think I ended up putting Mars in the middle instead of Pluto there, because I feel like that has the most visual interest, because the orange definitely pops out on that ticket. And yeah, once we get that situated, our mock-up is pretty much done here. Again, just a simple copy and paste those assets over, and then doing that clipping mask. I mean, I love clipping masks. One of the most, I feel like it's probably one of the most underrated tools in graphic design softwares is clipping masks. It makes everything so much easier in your life. Especially, it allows you not to have to destroy your, I mean, you can do masks too, instead of having to like destroy your photos or whatever, but this works, and we're done. We got our mock-up, we got our 3 digital tickets, and we have finished our project. So let me know down in the comments what you think of the project. I think it looked pretty sick. I am super pleased with the layout. It's got a clear contrast. The white text and the titles definitely stand out, make it easy and legible to read. I think these are pretty sick, and definitely something I could hang up as like a poster even. Maybe I need to fill up the space right here with posters or something, so maybe I get these printed. But yeah, thanks for tuning in for the ride for this design exercise. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about this project or any ideas for some future projects. I also stream as well, so if you want to catch me working on some day-to-day stuff, you can head over to my Twitch. And actually, I'll just put it in the bio. It's nschwalik.design or nschwalik space design, something like that. We'll get it figured. But that's gonna be it for the video, and I'll see you guys in a future video, whether it's a tutorial, some more design exercises, who knows, we'll see. And yeah, I'll catch you in a later video. So peace, guys.